Vayikra, or Leviticus 8 through 10. And YHVH spoke to Moshe, saying, Take Aaron and his sons with him, and the garments, and the anointing oil, and the bull of the sin offering, and the 2 rams, and the basket of unleavened bread, and assemble all the congregation at the door of the tent of appointment. And Moshe did as YHVH commanded him, and the congregation was assembled at the door of the tent of appointment. And Moshe said to the congregation, This is the word of YHVH commanded to be done. So Moshe brought Aaron and his sons and washed them with water, and put the long shirt on him, and girded him with a girdle, and dressed him in the robe, and put the shoulder garment on him, and girded him with the embroidered band of the shoulder garment, and with it tied the shoulder garment on him, and put the breastplate on him, and put the Urim and Thummim in the breastplate, and put the turban on his head, and on the turban on its front he put the golden plate, the set-apart sign of dedication, as YHVH had commanded Moshe. And Moshe took the anointing oil and anointed the dwelling place and all that was in it, and set them apart. And he sprinkled some of it on the slaughter place 7 times, and anointed the slaughter place and all its utensils, and the basin and its base, to set them apart. And he poured some of the anointing oil on Aaron's head, and anointed him, to set him apart. And Moshe brought the sons of Aaron, and put long shirts on them, and girded them with girdles, and put turbans on them, as YHVH had commanded Moshe. And he brought the bull for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the bull for the sin offering, and it was slain. And Moshe took the blood and put some on the horns of the slaughter place all around with his finger, and cleansed the slaughter place. Then he poured the blood at the base of the slaughter place, and set it apart to make atonement for it. And he took all the fat that was on the entrails, the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys with their fat, and Moshe burned them on the slaughter place. And the bull, and its skin, and its flesh, and its dung, he burned with fire outside the camp, as YHVH had commanded Moshe. And he brought the ram of the ascending offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and it was slain. And Moshe sprinkled the blood on the slaughter place all around, and he cut the ram into pieces. And Moshe burned the head and the pieces and the fat, and he washed the entrails and the legs in water. And Moshe burned the entire ram on the slaughter place. It was an ascending offering for a sweet fragrance, and an offering made by fire to YHVH, as YHVH had commanded Moshe. And he brought the 2nd ram, the ram of ordination, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands on the head of the ram, and it was slain. And Moshe took some of its blood and put it on the tip of Aaron's right ear, and on the thumb of his right hand, and on the big toe of his right foot. And he brought near the sons of Aaron, and Moshe put some of the blood on the tips of their right ears, and on the thumbs of their right hands, and on the big toes of their right feet. And Moshe sprinkled the blood on the slaughter place all around, and took the fat, and the fat tail, and all the fat that was on the entrails, and the appendage on the liver, and the 2 kidneys and their fat, and the right thigh, and from the basket of unleavened bread that was before YHVH, he took 1 unleavened cake, and a cake of bread anointed with oil, and 1 thin cake, and put them on the fat and on the right thigh, and placed all of these in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and waved them as a wave offering before YHVH. Moshe then took them from their hands and burned them on the slaughter place on the ascending offering. They were ordinations for a sweet fragrance. It was an offering made by fire to YHVH. And Moshe took the breast and waved it as a wave offering before YHVH. It was Moshe's portion of the ram ordination as YHVH had commanded Moshe. And Moshe took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood which was on the slaughter place, and sprinkled it on Aaron, on his garments, and on his sons, and on the garments of his sons with him. And he set apart Aaron, his garments, his sons, and the garments of his sons with him. And Moshe said to Aaron and his sons, "Cook the flesh at the door of the tent of appointment, and eat it there with the bread that is in the basket of the ordinations, as I have commanded," saying, Aaron and his sons are to eat it. And then burn the rest of the flesh and the bread with the fire, and do not go outside the door of the tent of appointment for 7 days, until the days of your ordination are completed, for he fills your hands for 7 days. YHVH has commanded to do, as he has done this day, to make atonement for you. And stay at the door of the tent of appointment day and night for 7 days, and you shall guard the duty of YHVH and not die, for so I have been commanded. And Aaron and his sons did all the words that YHVH had commanded by the hand of Moshe. Leviticus chapter 9. And on the 8th day it came to be that Moshe called Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. And he said to Aaron, "Take for yourself a young bull as a sin offering, and a ram as an ascending offering, a perfect one, and bring them before YHVH. And speak to the children of Israel, saying, Take a male goat as a sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both a year old, perfect ones, as an ascending offering. Also a bull and a ram as peace offerings to slaughter before YHVH, and a grain offering mixed with oil. For today YHVH shall appear to you." And they took what Moshe commanded before the tent of appointment, and all the congregation drew near and stood before YHVH. And Moshe said, "This is the word which YHVH commanded you to do, so that the esteem of YHVH appears to you." And Moshe said to Aaron, "Go to the slaughter place and prepare your sin offering and your ascending offering, and make atonement for yourself and for the people, and make the offering of the people, and make atonement for them, as YHVH had commanded." So Aaron came near to the slaughter place, and he slew the calf of the sin offering, which was for himself. And the sons of Aaron brought the blood to him, and he dipped his finger in the blood and put it on the horns of the slaughter place, and poured the blood at the base of the slaughter place. And the fat and the kidneys and the appendage on the liver of the sin offering he burned on the slaughter place, as YHVH had commanded Moshe. And the flesh and the skin he burned with fire outside the camp. And he slew the ascending offering, and the sons of Aaron presented to him the blood, which he sprinkled on the slaughter place all around. And they presented the ascending offering to him, with its pieces and head, and he burned them on the slaughter place. And he washed the entrails and the legs, and burned them with the ascending offering on the slaughter place. And he brought the people's offering, and took the goat, which was the sin offering for the people, and slew it, and made a sin offering like the first one. And he brought the ascending offering, and made it according to the right ruling. He also brought the grain offering and filled his hand with it and burned it on the slaughter place, beside the ascending offering of the morning. And he slew the bull and the ram as a slaughtering of peace offerings, which were for the people. And Aaron's sons presented to him the blood, which he sprinkled on the slaughter place all around, and the fat from the bull and the ram, the fat tail and the covering, and the kidneys, and the appendage on the liver. And they placed the fat on the breasts, and he burned the fat on the slaughter place. But the breasts on the right thigh Aaron waved as a wave offering for YHVH, as Moshe